Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. This will be a members only video for entertainment purposes only. I'm gonna make sure I say that. I believe the earth is trying to reboot itself. I think it's trying to get rid of uh, something that's causing it a lot of pain. Man, there are floods. Last year, it actually snowed in South Africa, fam. That shit there is something that you normally never see. The world as we know it is changing. It is speeding up. It's getting faster. It's going into a stage where actually we haven't seen before. You know, there are many theories that are considered conspiracy theories out there. They're saying that, you know, we skipped ahead 200 years, that we all died in 2020, and these are that last 8 seconds of our life that we are living, and that's why it's moving so fast. That we live inside of a matrix, man. You know, a lot of movies have actually told us some things, man. If you actually watch The Exorcist, and you know, you watched that movie before and you realize that they used a real demon in that movie and used the name and all the stuff, and wonder why the movie itself was cursed, along with some of the actors that played in that. Dude, it's a lot that go along with a lot of that a lot of people don't pay attention to. This world that we live in, man, is more than just what we can see. There are layers to this reality. Why you think cats and dogs can see different things? Because they can see more than one spectrum. They can see shit we can't see. Just like babies, before the veil passes, you know, goes away from over their eyes, man, they're able to see just about everything. And this is why they attack the young part of our kind. You know, like things try to attach themselves. You have them playing God. When I say them, I'm talking about the government, people who have money. You remember the museum for the people who played in the Ed and Lorraine from the Conjuring? Their museum was bought up, and they had Annabelle. The people who bought her had her on like some sort of tour, and she burned down the plantation. Not personally, but there's something really wicked attached to that doll. And I think a lot of people don't understand. They think a lot of this is just for games, for shits and giggles, man. But you can't come out here. The power went out when they moved it to a whole nother state. Dude, it's just crazy. The negativity that's in the air. Some things are not to be trifled or fuck with, bro. I'm serious. You know, there are things out here that's older than man, bro. And, you know, for some strange reason, I hear so many people say, well, just, you know, get rid of the item, you know, but that means the actual things that's attached to it is free. So you rather keep the item, man. But see, so many people see a business opportunity and all of that. You see people playing with things that they don't understand. Things that, you know, they do just for the YouTube channel. Bro, this shit is not to be played with. Not to be trifled with. You know, certain things are, man, meant to be like the older people from, you know, when we were younger, like our parents and stuff, they told us, oh, this is not to be played with. No, you really need to respect this and respect that. And they meant it. Why? Because they understood. You know, just because you don't believe in it, don't mean it don't believe in you. It just means that something over you is protecting you right now. You can have a hedge of protection. People could be praying for you. Or it just can't mess with you right now. This is why I say don't poke bears. Don't play with things you don't understand. Don't go inviting things in with Ouija boards. Don't leave your door open with big welcome signs on the doormat and, you know, on the door and stuff. You letting shit in. Be careful. Playing with mirrors and all of that other stuff, man. You got to be very careful. Man, we live in a world that's fluid, man. When I say fluid, I'm talking about, you know, things are constantly moving, man. You know, they had these red gargles that allowed you to see other dimensions, bro. It allowed you to see what lies underneath this. Some people say that we are in actually hell right now. And, you know, the Matrix is allowing us to basically overlay all of that stuff, man. I remember back in the 80s, you seen them spraying chemicals and all them chemtrails and all that stuff. Man, I believe that the sky could actually be false, bro. I believe the reason why airplanes can fly over a certain distance, I'm talking about up at a higher altitude, because there's something else going on there. I believe that the world, bruh, in my personal opinion, for entertainment purposes only, it's flat. I believe we stay inside of a dome. We are in a firmament. When they tell you they've been to the moon, man, unless the moon is actually within the firmament, which I believe the moon and the sun is inside this firmament. I believe they are. I believe this is why you see things the way you see them. Do I believe the moon is a real object? I don't know. I believe the moon is man-made. I believe a lot of the stuff that you see is not what you truly understand. They had an Operation Fishbowl. They were shooting nukes at the sky. Why the hell was they shooting nukes at the sky? People are like, well, they were just testing the nukes out to see if, they could do this. No, they're trying to crack the glass. They're trying to get out. Dude, the reason why the sky is blue, because the waters above it is blue. The reason why when you see a rainbow is bent is because it's being bent against the glass that it is reflecting off of. Why you think when you see certain times when you look at glass and you see a rainbow and it's straight, but you look in the air and it's bent? Because of the dome. Bro, you believe you don't stay in a dome. You believe that you can leave this planet. If man could have left this planet, they would have left a long time ago. See, that's the thing people don't understand. Well, it's reasons and there's cost and you gotta, man, come on. That ain't stopped not one motherfucker that we know as man. Man would have found a way to get their ass off this planet to do something, to move around the galaxy. They would have tried to rule the galaxy. They would have tried to take it over. They'd have took over the solar system that we're in. We'd have had houses on other damn planets by now. Why? Because this is what man does. Dude, the reason why man haven't took over the ocean, there's other shit down there. There's things down there older than man. Do mermaids truly exist? Yes, they do. Do the mermaids we think exist? No. Mermaids don't look like they do on the TV. A woman's body upper part and she's looking glorious and her bottom part is just the tail and all. No. She looks like a fish. She has human features, but she looks like a fish in her face. Human features, but looks like a fish. They're descendants of us, man. We're descendants of them. We came from out the ocean. That's how evolution worked. We crawled upon the land as, organisms and things like that, man. But the thing that I look at is the thing that a lot of people else don't understand, man, is time. It's linear. It's not what we think it is. It's not moving around shit. Time, regardless, it's time. And you thinking about all this stuff that's happening. The world is rebooting. This plane of existence is rebooting. You see cracks in Idaho, bro. You see cracks, just damn near just big cracks going for miles. With nothing but, when they look down there with cameras and, all type of gear, you see nothing but mud and water. It shouldn't be that much of mud and water down there. It's letting you know there's a lot of stuff that they're lying to you about here, man. Do I believe that man has scratched the surface of this planet? No. There's places on this planet that's still not truly been explored. Look at Canada. They tell you Canada don't have enough of land for its people. Do you know how much of Canada that is not even scratched the surface? What is going on there that they won't scratch the surface on the rest of that? There's so much of land in the U.S., but they tell you, oh, we got a land deficit. No, we don't. Who told you that? What is they hiding in these places that they don't want you to be at? That's the question. With all these man-made mountains and hills and stuff like that, dude, there's a lot of shit going on. Dude, I believe there were Tartarians and all that stuff here before us. There was a reality here before us with free energy and all of that. A lot of the stuff that you see, like the Golden Gate Bridge, you know, and the subway system there, I believe that was from another time. Why you think it's so different from the one here in Chicago? You know, my thing is, man, why is it that there's tunnels that actually veer off that nobody ever fucks with? Why don't they go close those tunnels off? You got homeless people living in the tunnel that run across Nephilims that actually grab them up and have them working somewhere else. Dude, there's so much of stuff that's going on here on this planet that we fail to realize. That shit is really getting different. This world is rebooting, man. There's so much, man. There have been floods before. There's petrified giants and petrified animals all over this planet. And nobody think that this stuff is real. That ain't real, man. It's just them making up stuff, man. That's Hollywood stuff. And, you know, they're just making up stuff, you know, just for us to actually have, you know, something to talk about. No. You know, you look at some of these petrified places that, you know, they dig in. You know, you dig in marrow and all that stuff. That's human remains. Those remains of giant humans, bro. You know, you go inside of a hill and they mine and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we got all this. It's a tree. It's not a mountain. It's a tree. It's a petrified tree. The world tree that we had here before, they destroyed that. But I don't think it was inside the firmament, man. There's places outside of the firmament, outside of Antarctica, all around us, man. It's a dome surrounding the area that we live in. The continents, there's more than just 7 continents, bro. There's way more. But we only see 7. Now, see, if you're a part of another, you know, organization, reality, a thing like that, man, you can be a privy to that. Antarctica is just the launching pad. There's so much shit outside of those ice walls, bro. And the thing is, if you really want to know what's going on, why haven't nobody took a plane? Why haven't nobody took a helicopter and went over? Who are the people who standing on top of the ice walls? Who are those people? You see, there's so much shit going on that people are not telling you, man. And they're not telling you that those ice caps, the ice in, you know, some of these cold regions is melting. Because it's been hot. And it's melting. And they tell you about those, what's those, cloud pour, you know, and all that cloud pouring, and, you know, it's causing flash floods and everywhere, and, you know, that's what's happening. Dude, a lot of people don't even believe clouds are real. Because, you know, we got all that cloud seeding, and if you pay attention in certain places, they create clouds. I'm confused, bro. It's real. This is something that you really need to pay attention to. Dude, I don't believe the sky is what it is. When you look at Godzilla versus Kong, when Kong was looking at the sun, he picked up a tree and he trimmed a tree and he threw it. And it short-circuited, and you seen that it was something behind him. I believe that's what we live in. I believe they showed a plane in the air. And they showed some lighting source under the plane, and they were trying to figure out what the hell it was. I believe that's the sun. I believe the sun is like some big light. But if you notice, if you ever pay attention to the sun over a period of time, like when it's rising and setting, it goes like in a infinity symbol. It goes and it comes back. It goes and it comes back. Bro, I believe it's on a schedule, and this is how everything is regulated. I believe the firmament, everything that you're seeing is a change-up. I believe man is trying to control stuff. I believe man is underground in Idaho, because they said there's a lot of tunnels when they sent like cameras and stuff down there to see. They said it's a lot of tunnels being created. I believe man is down there doing something 9 times out of 10 that he shouldn't be doing. They hear a lot of explosions, and, you know, they saying that's just the plates hitting each other. No, I believe man is doing something. Why do you think all this random shit is happening? Look at what happened in, what's that? Tokyo. You remember all that clear water came up? It was flooding everywhere. Clear water. You know what dirty water looks like. Dirty water is dirty. This is clear water. Where's all this clear water coming from? The mountain, well, the volcano in Russia, it erupted. You looking at Yosemite and Yellowstone and all these places, you looking at all these places look like they're ready to blow. Then they said, I don't know how true this is, bro. People been finding like human remains in their food, like teeth in their nuggets and their chicken sandwiches and every damn thing. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on. This lady actually was eating some food and she ate all the food. And it was actually, when she looked at it real hard and it had teeth down on one side. Then when she looked at the other piece, it had teeth going down the other side. They were human damn teeth. She had to go to the hospital because she had like diarrhea and she was sick and she was saying all type of shit. What the hell did she eat? What the hell are we eating? Bro, I believe, and I say this to a lot of y'all, I believe if you look at the percentage of food that we eat, how much of it is laced with human remains? Bro, I gotta say it just like this. It would take, in order to feed the entire U.S. the way how these fast food restaurants be having deals and sales and all of that, it would take like two states to actually, 2 states of nothing but farming to actually feed all these people. But what animal you know rejuvenate that damn fast? Only animal I know of is human. And you know, we're mammals, man, and like I said, have you noticed that there have been a lot of missing people lately? There have been a lot of people. They telling you that they deporting people, but have you seen anybody deported? Have you seen anybody back where they supposed to be or anything like that? I'm not saying that every instance that I'm talking about is true, but I'm saying some of this holds some weight because I'm starting to notice that a lot of homeless people are gone. And people keep telling me, but they stop being homeless, they go back to their family, they living these good lives. And I'm like, they've been out there for 10 or 15 damn years, so all of a sudden everything is good now? No. They tell you they tearing down at these homeless camps, they tearing them down and everything. What do you think these people are going? Once you tear them down, you don't see the people no more. What happened to the people? Oh, well, you know, they're sent to certain places. Man, when I was downtown working back in the early 2000s, do you know there were so many homeless people out there asking you for money and everything? They were on every damn corner. They were down there, you know, damn near living in certain places. Now, you can't find a damn homeless person downtown Chicago. You may can, but you got to look really hard. Dude, I don't see them. And that's my point. When you don't see people like you used to, you really need to pay attention, bro. Then you got all these plasma donation places popping up. What are they doing with all of that blood? You know, all that plasma, all that DNA. What are they doing? Are they creating viruses to hurt us? Dude, what are they doing? Do you honestly believe that they actually, you know, doing things to help us? Do you believe that vaccine we got a long time ago, you know, we had to take 2 or 3 of them, was for what it was supposed to be? No. If you still catching, you know, the shit even harder now, then what happened? Dude, we take vaccines, we vaccinate our kids in the beginning, and they did a study a long time ago on kids who are vaccinated and kids who are not vaccinated. And you come to find out that the kids who are not vaccinated outlive the kids who are vaccinated. The kids who are not vaccinated was more healthy. It's not like you getting some weird disease and it's going to compromise everybody's immune system. You found that out firsthand when 2020 hit, that it wasn't what it's supposed to be. People tell you like, hey, you wrong. In order for all those people to get it, it would have had to been airborne. One, it wasn't. My thinking was it was on the swabs when you took them. Majority of the people, you know, you had some that was clean, you had some, I think, they were contaminated, and I think that's how it happened. It was like the luck of the draw. Anybody who was diagnosed, everybody had it. You know, they would call you even though you was on a testing list. You got it. You got it. And you like, damn, I ain't even take the test, but you got it. You know, it lets you know that there's a lot of shit at play, man. And I'm not trying to do fear mongering. Dude, it's just like asking yourself why all these karate places popping up all over the place. Ask yourself, what's really going on? You go in there and you asking yourself, man, I'm gonna learn karate, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna do this. You know, I wanna protect myself. But for what I'm learning is a lot of these people are getting taught karate, they're not being taught real karate. They're out there getting their ass beat. You know, they telling you they know karate, they getting beat up. No, I don't want to use my hands because they're deadly weapons. And I'm like, you out here getting your ass whooped and you telling me you know karate? No, they're not teaching you karate, man. They taking your money. Dude, a lot of places out here are just taking your money, ripping you off. You feel that you got the gist of something, man. Like I said, you're not learning the real thing. I don't believe we're not made of the same shit we were made of a while back. You know, everybody looking at life like we gotta have participation trophies. If he win, I should win too. That ain't how it works in life. You get out of it what you put in it. If you don't put shit in, you ain't gonna get nothing out. You know, like I should get this and that, and you be like, based on what? Well, because you know. But again, thank you for watching. Till later, peace out.